Colin Coward, all right.
Joe? Sorry.
No, he's good.
The host on the Herd, he compiled a list of players, NBA players, who changed the league. All right. So on that list, we have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Tim Duncan, Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, Larry Bird, Stephen Curry, LeBron James. All right.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
So you agree? I don't agree with Tim Duncan being on that.
I don't think he should be on it either.
Yeah, he is on that list.
How did he change the game?
How did
he
he
made it
change
more
the game?
boring?
No, he's
Is that how he
like,
changed it?
He's a good example of the.
He's consistent. That's
well,
it.
his name is Shaq. Actually, who's on the list, gave him the name of Big Fundamentals, right?
Yes.
So he changed the game in a sense that like he is a strict like role model to follow in terms of being the franchise player, being a coach's dream, all
But
that.
there's lots of players that can do that. That's
Yeah,
not
but he
changing
was
the
like,
game.
but he was like the excellence form of that. You know, like he was. he had good.
But when he was playing and once he retired, the league didn't
emulate what he did.
No, didn't have a shift. There was no
if
shift in the
you
league.
look at all these players, they're just a spectrum from old to new. How they've changed
Steph
the game.
Curry changed the way people shoot.
Yeah, which is now he's changed the game of how people
Michael
shoot,
Jordan.
how people do it. Michael Jordan's the number one on that list who changed the game. Like, he's the number one.
Disagree.
What?
I have said it from the beginning.
No
Larry
way,
Bird and Magic Johnson.
Why? Because of the whole like.
Because they saved the NBA.
MJ did a lot for the
He
NBA.
didn't save the NBA.
And more.
He did not save the NBA.
Look at all these shoe deals. Half these players have what? Shoe
The
deals.
TV
Why?
deals.
Because of Michael
the
Jordan.
relevance of NBA is because of Larry Bird and Magic
Yes.
Johnson's rivalry.
MJ is Mr. Shoe Deal, though.
Yeah.
Okay, shoe deal, sure.
No, and the reason to watch. Who else could win? Like he could have won 8 in a row. He took a 3
MJ
in a row break
with Scotty. But anyways,
MJ paved the way for players to not only rely on their NBA salary, but also extracurricular salary. So that way they can go to smaller markets because
Not just that, but
I
the
feel
culture,
like
the
Magic
whole culture
Johnson
behind
did that too because Magic Johnson was getting deals on top of that.
actually no, go to bigger markets but for less money because they can make money outside the NBA. But okay, so
Jordan's
the
world-renowned, like, he's
reason
world-renowned.
why I don't think
But so are though. Like half the guys on that list are world renowned.
okay, hold
There's
up.
parts in remote countries of the world, like maybe like deep in Africa, the tribes, they probably even know who Michael Jordan
Okay,
is.
then Allen Iverson should be on there because China loves Allen Iverson.
He actually did. That should be someone that, in terms of influenced the game forever, I would say Iverson too.
So
Okay.
Gave a voice to poor people, even thugs.
Tim Duncan,
Yes.
possibly the greatest power forward of all time, but there hasn't been a shift in the NBA that Tim Duncan has caused though. No shift. You know who I would put instead of Tim Duncan? Dirk Nowitzki. Because with Dirk, he's the one who started the big boom with European players coming into the league. Before it was pretty much North Americans and supplementary parts for Europeans. But now Europeans, they're everywhere, all right? And also he kind of made it more popular for the bigs to shoot threes as well. Yeah, Magic Johnson, he was tall, but he was a point guard, you know. Larry Bird, yeah, he was tall, he shot threes. But Dirk Nowitzki started the boom for European players and for people for bigs to shoot threes.
I will agree on the European aspect.
But then you're gonna make the argument for Ginobili too, right? A little bit.
Wow, that's a lot.
No, Dirk Nowitzki was the
Like he was
factor
the
for that.
guy,
And then Steph Curry. So some people say they don't see how Steph Curry's on that. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Like Steph Curry, kids
Could
now.
go down.
They shoot threes now. It's cool to shoot threes now.
Yeah, he made it cool.
And also,
But that's not true, though.
also, Steph Curry is the reason why defenses are stretched to the max now. People were not allowed to shoot from friggin' multiple feet behind the 3-point line. Now everybody has the green light to do it.
Well, he changed like shooter's mentality in terms of like, man, I want to have my shot to be like Steph Curry's, but 3-pointers have always been cool. And
LeBron James,
isn't he?
his haters are like, oh, we don't see how he changed the game. LeBron James is the reason why players hold their destiny into their own hands now, right? He's the reason why KD went to Golden State because he basically put the mentality into players' head. Do not allow the GMs to dictate where you go now. You have that power. So,
and not just that,
but he's also
LeBron James is the reason you're haters.
Yeah,
like seriously,
and
he's
also,
the reason you're haters.
And also, LeBron James is the reason why players treat the NBA as a business now. Like they treat their own brand, their own personal brand as a business.
With the
it's
union.
because of LeBron James.
But do you agree LeBron James is kind of a combination of all these influences in terms of like what they brought to the game, like in terms of like he followed Jordan's footsteps, having his own shoe deal, also becoming the perfect role
and
model,
I think he's actually expanded on it.
Perfect role model in society, getting involved with communities, like like even a perfect role model on the basketball court. You know what I mean?
So who's missing on that list?
We were just talking about it. Allen Iverson.
Yeah, I think
for
Iverson.
sure Iverson.
How has he changed the game?
Well,
he redefined he
brought a little
the
swag.
small. Well, I was going to get to that, but he first of all, basketball wise, he redefined the smaller player.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, a lot of these smaller players wouldn't get the relevancy that they have now.
Especially the poor
right? Because he
communities.
showed that who cares if I'm only 5'11", 6 foot? I can still ball, and I can ball better than some of these big guys.
Who cares if I
You know
grew
what
up
I mean?
in a shitty
There were
community?
small people before him, though.
Yeah.
I know, but
he changed it more.
really brought it to the forefront. Like Dirk brought the
And he brought all
the
the swag with
And
it.
the swag,
So
that's
the
what I was gonna
cornrows,
say.
how tattoos became cool.
He was
brought all
the
that.
anti-hero.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it.
and
right?
he brought the crossover. So,
Basically, he pretty much brought the crossover to the game. So Allen Iverson should be on 100%.
Another person that, if he continues to excel, will be on that list will be Isaiah Thomas, okay? The new Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Because he took what Iverson did and he's taking it way further. He's saying 6 feet, that's too tall. How about 5'9"? And people are saying even 5'9" is a stretch, okay? So
might be the best 5'9" of all time.
Before Isaiah Thomas,
Spud Webb, no.
before Isaiah Thomas,
Bogus.
was Spud Webb 5'9"? Wasn't he
5'7".
taller? Oh, he
Shorter.
was shorter?
I think he
Okay.
was
And then Muggsy
But-
Bogues.
Muggsy Bogues was
So-
about 5'5", 5'3".
So Isaiah Thomas made it so that you can be under 6 feet and not just be like, we're gonna have you on the team just to sell tickets or to make a show out of you. No, he basically is showing that you can be a top tier player under 6 feet. So he's giving hope to people who are not gifted in the height department.
And fast forward to today.
There's another two guys I was going to say, actually.
But also, fast forward to today, coming back to Isaiah, fast forward to today, he's just showing you that the last pick of that draft got traded for the first overall pick of that draft. That's so crazy when you think about it. That's huge.
Yeah, I know it's true. I think another guy that...
Should Draymond be there?
No. You know why? You know why?
Dennis Rodman.
No, because of the Warriors.
Because
of the Warriors.
That too.
Because of that,
But there was two guys. Oh man, I'm trying to remember the second one. Okay, the first guy that I would put in. You guys may agree, maybe not. The problem that I have is I don't know how to exactly explain it, but I feel like Vince Carter somewhat changed the game. I just don't know how to explain it, but dunks.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He changed the way that
for the soul and the culture.
Dunks, are done in-game dunks.
The soul. He's like the soul of basketball in terms of
But I wouldn't,
poetry in motion, and when it comes to like thunderous dunks,
I wouldn't.
in-game.
The only thing that goes against Vince Carter is Dr. J was doing in-game dunks too, and Michael Jordan too, and they were known for in-game dunks.
But to his extent, though, he was posterizing guys. Whereas Jordan and Dr. J, for sure, they had those dunks, but they weren't posterizing guys. Now maybe they could have, but they didn't.
I know now he's the oldest active player of right now. Everyone agrees, everyone's going to agree that he's the best in-game dunker of all time.
Yes.
And that could be his shoo-in for a Hall of Fame ballot.
It could be.
But then again, with players Howard probably going to get in, McGrady, all these guys are in. Get in. But he is the best in-game dunker of all time. You should watch his highlights. 100 Vince Carter dunks.
But being the best doesn't mean change the game, though. That's the thing.
No, he changed the game in terms of how I think he maybe revolutionized the in-game dunk. How about that? There's just something about him that looks amazing. Like even in today's league, when there's an open dunk, no one does anything crazy. Carter always did something crazy.
So if
he never was in a regular leg.
So that's my point. If nobody does anything crazy, then how can you say he changed the league? Because
maybe he created the momentum boost. I don't know. Like he did something.
Because if the league hasn't changed, because if people were doing crazy in-game dunks, then you can say it's because of Vince Carter. But nobody's doing it. So,
but see, here's my thing. I think he did change it because if you look at for instance, when you look at the All-Star game, the dunk contest, Vince Carter's was one of the ones that you looked at and went, wow.
Yeah.
Look at this guy do it. If it wasn't for him, Gordon wouldn't have done the dunks that he's doing now. These dunks that we see now, you wouldn't have seen it because they wouldn't have had to do it.
Do you remember the year after?
People have had to step up their dunk game.
Also, do you remember the year after that dunk competition or whatever, 2 years later, when he didn't participate?
Yeah.
How lame was that dunk competition?
Right?
What happened that same weekend in the All-Star game?
Yeah.
Vince Carter blew by Kobe.
Right, and just boom.
No, he did the 360 baseline dunk. That dunk destroyed the dunk competition.
So we need to wrap it up.
I know he was going to bring up a future. Can I bring up a future game changer?
No, because
why is Jabbar on there?
The battery is low anyway.
Why is Jabbar on there?
The battery is low.
Giannis.
No, Jabbar.
Oh, one person that's missing, people were saying Dr. J should be on there because the NBA basically got rid of an entire league so they could get Dr. J from the ABA.
This is true.
So you deserve to be on that.
Talk about influence,
But Mark, I know Laurent doesn't agree, but Mark, you agree that Tim Duncan should be replaced by Dirk, right?
He says
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would
wants to say
replace
Karl
him
Malone.
necessarily by Dirk.
Why Karl Malone then?
No, I wouldn't
By
replace
whom? By
Karl
whom?
Malone. Probably Iverson.
Okay.
I would still stick with Iverson. That Iverson for sure should be on there.
All right, so let us know in the comment section. Do you agree with the names on that list? Who should be on that?
Shaq for dominance.
Who's missing? Who's
Clearly,
missing
of
on that
course.
list? Who should not be there?
Moses
Let us
Malone.
know.